Good morning everyone. Today is 19th of August and welcome to the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, in the today's video we are going to discuss the entire analysis of the Hindu newspaper along with the background as well as the way forward in the relevant articles. Now guys, before starting up, I would like to tell you that you can download the explainer PDF from the Telegram channel, and the link for the Telegram channel has been given in the description box. So please download this explainer PDF so that you can follow it along with the video. Now, first of all, let's see the overview of the entire newspaper in order to understand that which articles are going to be important for our examination today. Now, so here we have the Hindu newspaper Delhi edition, and on to the page number 1, the first article that we can see is that the Supreme Court order puts a status quo on IOA move. Now guys, there is an issue of sports governance that is coming in India. Okay, there have been certain issues in the past, so we'll see this particular article in that particular respect. Abandoned boat with the weapons trigger scare. So guys, there have been an abandoned boat with some weapons, but still the terror angle cannot be traced. So that is the article, not important for your examination, so you don't need to go in that. Then guys, after that, the political articles etc that has been there, fine, no need to see again go in that particular dimension also. Then ascertain who decided to shift Rohingya refugees to EWS flat. So guys, yesterday we have seen this particular article that there was a clash of opinions between the Urban Development Ministry and the Ministry of Home Affairs. So in this particular direction, there is one article, even in the editorial also we'll see that. Then the advertisements etc, nothing is important. Moving on guys, in this after that, in the city section, the regional news etc, fine, they are coming, not important with respect to the examination. Chinese manja snips off Desi Challenger. So guys, basically on the Independence Day in Delhi, the people they fly kites, and in that they are using these strings, okay, which have killed many people. Okay, so that particular report has been provided here in this particular article. Guys, with respect to the examination, substance is not there in this article. Moving on, after that, the Metro Plus page is there, fine. Advertisements, we need to ignore them, fine. Moving on, we'll be reaching to the editorial page. So hard truth about India's labor reforms, we'll see this particular article. Too good to be true. Too good to be true. So guys, with respect to the Rohingya issue and the refugee crisis issue, we'll see this particular article, but it has been provided. A forced union, fine. The factions yoked together by judicial diktat, AIADMK affairs, fine. Political article, not important for the examination. Salman Rushdie, the intifada of the imagination. Okay, so guys, recently the Salman Rushdie, who has been a notable author, on him there has been an attack. So basically this article is talking about the Salman Rushdie and his publication of the satanic verses. Now guys, with respect to the UPSC examination, the article is not important, no need to go in that. Then should there be a limit on freebies, we'll see this particular article. Then coming to the text and the context page. So guys, on the text and the context page today, the first article is talking about the blocking of the VLC media player. So guys, the VLC media player which have it has been blocked in India. Now guys, with respect to the UPSC examination, fine, no important issue is there that what is this basically VLC media player and all those kind of things. Then controversy around the parking spaces. So guys, recently what has happened, the Supreme Court has given its ruling and it has provided that the builders, they cannot sell these parking spaces separately. So guys, in this particular article, basically in this particular article, the MOFA, basically just a minute, Maharashtra Ownership Flats Act, Maharashtra Ownership Flats Act, about this particular act, the provisions and the sections have been provided. Okay guys, not at all important article for your examination. Okay, so the parking and the builders can sell it or not, no need to go there. Then streaming fantasy. Okay, so the House of the Dragons prequel to the Game of Thrones, fine. Moving on in this particular direction. Then guys, after that, the political news etc has been there, fine. BJP is delaying the Naga peace process, Congress postpones anti-price rally, fine. So these political articles are not important. Border states told to watch out for the demographic change. So guys, in the basically the home minister had said, provided this particular thing, that into the border towns there is, if change in population, if the such kind of population is increasing in the past few years, it has been observed, so they need to be careful about that. Then moving on, after that guys, in this particular direction, Fine. So we need to stay alert, get vaccinated, so the precaution doses are to be taken. All these things are provided. Bustards adapt to produce two egg clutch. So we'll see this particular article with respect to the environment and species into the news. BRI projects are slow. So guys, with respect to the Belt and Road Initiative, what has been the recent trends, we'll see this particular article. And China's debt trap diplomacy also, we'll be seeing this particular thing. China may step up coercion of Taiwan. So guys, it is because of the recent visit of Nancy Pelosi in the Taiwan that China is basically running behind the Taiwan. Fine. Then moving on, elevated inflation needs apt policy reply. We'll see this particular article what it is talking about. Fine. After that, after that. Minister asks telcos to prepare for 5G rollout. Okay, because now the 5G rollout is on anvil, so they need to prepare the infrastructure for that. Big bang privatization of banks can be harmful. So guys, recently there have been the report that the government might privatize some of the public banks. So on that particular thing, it has been said that the public sector banks, okay, they have focused on financial inclusion and all those kind of things. So therefore, privatization might not be a good move. Fine. Then guys, IRCTC corporate trends etc. have been given. Fine, not important for our examination. And then we have the sports page. Okay, so here the cricket and all these things have been mentioned. Now guys, let's start with the analysis of the newspaper and let's take all the important articles one by one in the detail. Now guys, in every class before starting, I take a GS quotation that can be used in one of your GS papers. So today I am going to take the quotation from the George Bernard Shaw. So GB Shaw says that if history repeats itself and the unexpected always happens, how incapable must man be of learning from experience? So guys, you might have heard this particular thing that the history repeats itself. Okay, history repeats itself. It means that whatever has happened in the past, we are going to repeat it again. So man is a poor learner. It doesn't learn from the history. It repeats the same mistake. So it provides that how incapable a man is of learning. Okay, how incapable a man is of learning, that we cannot learn from our experiences. Okay, so this is something that is very impactful. And guys, this particular quotation can be used in GS paper number 4, as well as it can be used in the essays. Okay, so guys, ideally a man needs to learn from the crisis that has happened in the past. For example, guys, many times we have seen that certain sections of the society, they have been discriminated, social injustices have happened, and whenever such kind of things have happened, it has led to some kind of a crisis. And even now such kind of thing is happening. So history in a way is repeating itself and we have failed to take the lesson. Now taking up the first article. So guys, the first article, it has been taken from the page number 1. The Supreme Court orders a status quo on move to put panel in charge of IOA. Now guys, I'll not be going just in the headline of this particular article, but see, this particular article will be pointing to very important issue, and that entire issue we are going to understand. See, in GS paper number 2, as well as GS paper number 3, fine, there could be a question on the sports governance in India. Are you getting it or not? So basically GS paper number 3, youth, their related affairs are there, and in GS paper number 2, governance aspects are there. So on the sports governance, there could be a question. Now guys, let's understand this entire issue from the very scratch. Okay, let's understand this issue from the very scratch. So basically guys, what has happened when we talk about India has a huge demographic dividend. India has a huge young demography. Young demography means that we have young population. Today, the average age of India is 28 years. Okay. But guys, at the same time, having the largest young population, our performance in the international sporting events such as the Olympics, fine, has not been very much satisfactory. Though this year in the Commonwealth Games, we have performed very much good. But guys, in terms of the young demography, in comparison to the population that we are having, our performance onto the sports has not been very much good. Now guys, in this particular direction, government from time to time has come out with many schemes where government has tried to enhance the sporting regime in India. Okay, just a minute. So a government from time to time has come out with many schemes where the sporting regime in India has been improved. Okay, and for example, there Khelo India is being taken up by the government. Okay, just a minute, guys. Just give me 1 minute. I think there is some issue that has come. Yes. Okay. So I think the voice and everything is fine. Okay, fine. So what I was telling, yes, that India has a very big young demography, but at the same time, our performance into the sports have not been very much good. And in this particular capacity, government is coming out with many schemes. For example, I have told you earlier that is there is the Khelo India, then there is the sports talent search portal. Sports talent search portal has been established to identify the budding sports player. Okay, then there is the National Sports Awards scheme, National Sports Awards scheme that has been there. Into the National Sports Awards scheme, the basically the players who have performed good, they are being awarded and they are being given recognition. But still, guys, the performance of the sporting has not been very much good. And in this capacity comes the sport governance in India. So, guys, there have been certain issues in the past. First of all, I'll tell you the issue, and then we'll see this particular thing with the connection of the sports governance. Now, guys, what has happened? Just now, the basically there is the Indian Olympic Association. Now the Indian Olympic Association will be the nodal agency which represents the India in the Olympic Games. Fine. Now the Indian Olympic Association, basically it has been recently, the International Olympic Committee, it has provided that the Indian Olympic Association will be banned. And if Indian Olympic Association will be banned, will not be able to send the India's representatives into the Olympic Games. Now the question comes that why the International Olympic Committee is saying that the Indian Olympic Association is going to be banned. It is, guys, because recently what has happened, the Delhi High Court has ordered that the governing body into the Indian Olympic Association, it will be removed, and in that particular place a committee of administrators will come, and committee of administrators will be governing the affairs of the Indian Olympic Association. Now, guys, when we talk about the International Olympic Committee, it has provided that there cannot be any non-elected body. If there will be a non-elected body that will be coming in the matters of the it will be coming into the matters of the Indian Olympics, then it will be treated as the third party interference. So they had said that if this particular thing will be done, then the Indian Olympic Association will be banned. Now, guys, this is one incident. This is the one incident talking about the Indian Olympic Association. Then similar one more kind of incidents just has happened 2 days back. Now, guys, what has happened? Basically, the FIFA, the All India Football Federation has been banned by the FIFA. Okay, so guys, the FIFA is the body for the basically FIFA. It is the international body for the football, and the FIFA has banned the All India Football Federation. Why it has banned? Because, guys, the same kind of a thing has happened in case of the All India Football Federation AIFF also few days back. So what happened? Even the AIFF's governing body was removed, and Supreme Court instituted a COA, that is the Committee of Administrators, and now they are managing the governing of the AIFF, that is the All India Football Federation. Now, why this particular thing has happened? Again, because the Supreme Court has said in the past what has happened. The Supreme Court has provided that the governing body, they had overstayed their tenure, okay, and therefore they removed it. And again, this particular thing where the Supreme Court brought a committee of administrator, it was called as a third party interference into the sports governance in India, and because of this particular thing only, the FIFA has banned the All India Football Federation. Now there is one particular problem. The problem is this, guys, that India it is this particular year in the month of October, India is hosting the under 17 women's world cup. Okay, women's football world cup India is hosting this particular year. Fine. So in this particular capacity, if India has been banned, if India's All India Football Federation has been banned, how we can do this particular international sporting event? This is a kind of an embarrassment for the India, okay, because, guys, AIFF has been banned. Now, what is common in both of these particular cases? Okay, so we have seen the two cases, we have seen the two example number one is of the Indian Olympic Association, and the example number two is of the AIFF, that is the All India Football Federation. administration. In both of them, what happened? The judiciary, in one case the Delhi High Court, in another case the Supreme Court, they appointed a committee of administrators, and these committee of administrator replaced the governing body in this particular thing. Guys, meanwhile in this particular case, IOA case, the Delhi High Court, I told you, ordered the COA, but this particular decision of Delhi High Court has been put on the stay by the Supreme Court, because already we have seen that the AIFF 2 days back got banned by the FIFA. So Supreme Court has said that Delhi High Court's order will not be implemented, it will be stayed. Now guys, the issue that comes in India is that basically, see, when first of all we talk about the sports in India, we have the National Sports Development Code of India 2011. Now this National Sports Development Code of India provides that there needs to be the election process. Fine, there needs to be the election process, and through the election process only the members in the governing body needs to be appointed. But over the last few years, what we have seen that the members, they have overstayed their tenure. Are you getting it or not? Many times the rules have been flouted, and these particular things are taken very seriously by the international bodies. Okay, now the Supreme Court, when the Supreme Court appointed the committee of administrator into the case of the AIFF, that particular thing was done in a good faith. Why? Because guys, the earlier governing body had stayed more longer than its tenure. So that particular thing was done in a good faith, and the same thing was followed by the Delhi High Court in the case of the Indian Olympic Association. They have also followed the same kind of a thing. But guys, this particular thing has not been seen as a democratic exercise by the international body. So therefore this particular issue is coming. Now guys, understand that when we talk about the sports governance in India, there are multiple bodies, multiple stakeholders in this particular direction. For example, there is the Ministry of Youth Affairs and the Sports. Then there is the India Olympic Association, which we have just discussed that it is the concern. Then the state Olympic associations are there, then the National Sports Federation is there, then the Sports Authority of India is there, and many other bodies are also there. So in the sports we have the multiple bodies, multiple institutions. Now guys, many times what happens, because even multiple bodies are there, their roles, their duties often comes in conflict with each other, and at the end of the day the sports governance, the sports culture in India gets impacted. Now guys, learning from this particular lesson, India needs to make sure that we need to systemically bring an overhaul in the sports governance in India, so that such kind of matters don't happen. There needs to be a strong supervision process, so that the governing bodies within the different sports association. Now guys, you understand, this is not only fine, the UPSC will not be asking a question that what happened recently in the Indian Olympic Association, or what happened recently into the All India Football Federation. They'll be asking a question onto the overall sports governance, and there just in one line you can give the example of Indian Olympic Committee. Fine, if you can give an example of, just a minute, Indian Olympic Committee as well as the basically All India Football Federation's example. Okay, so therefore what we need to give as a way forward, there needs to be a strong supervision process, so that democratic governance is carried into the sports bodies, which is in line with the National Sports Development Code of India 2011. Okay, because guys, the next Olympic and the upcoming international events should reflect the young demographic potential of India. Okay, because we have the youngest population in world. So that is all about this particular article. I hope guys that you have understood it. Okay, so guys, here there are some references I have taken from the earlier articles, and I had tried to consolidate it all. Now moving to the next article. Too good to be true. Now this article we have taken from the Hindu newspaper, and this article will see with respect to the GS paper number 4 ethics, as well as with respect to the GS paper number 2 refugee issue. Now let's understand this particular article, but before guys going in that, I would like to tell you some of a background that has happened. Fine. By the way, yesterday also I had discussed the refugee issue, where I have explained you the difference between the asylum seeker, the refugees, okay, illegal foreigners and all those things. Okay. Now the background goes like this, that number one, when we talk about the Rohingyas have been declared by the United Nations High Commissioner of Refugees as one of the most persecuted community in the world. Fine, Rohingyas have been declared by UNHCR as one of the most persecuted community in the world. Secondly, when we talk about the Rohingyas are the Muslim people. Rohingyas are the Muslim people who are living in the Myanmar. So within the Myanmar, there is a region that is the Rakhine state of Myanmar. The Rohingya people are living. These people were brought in the Myanmar by the Britishers to work on the plantation. But when we talk about the Myanmar, majority of the population of Myanmar is consisted of the Buddhist people, and these Buddhist people, they believe that the Rohingyas are outsiders, and because of that particular thing, there have been many a times the targeted attacks onto the Rohingya people that have happened. Okay, in this particular direction, guys, what have happened in multiple waves, the Rohingyas, they have fled to the different countries. They have went to the Bangladesh, they have went to the Thailand, they have come to India also. Now in India also, the Rohingya people, they are living in they are living in one of a colony in Delhi. Okay, now guys, basically what has happened, often the Rohingyas people, they have been said that a lot of human right violations have happened in this particular direction. Now guys, the present development that happened is that Minister of Urban Development issued a tweet, and on that particular tweet it was said that government has decided that the Rohingyas people, they will be given a flat, and they will be given all the basic necessities. Even the police protection will be given to the Rohingya people. Now what happened, after few hours, there was Ministry of Home Affairs which issued another direction, and it said that no flat will be given, no such kind of assurance will be given, and at the same time the colony where these Rohingyas are living, that particular colony will be declared as a detention center. It will be declared as a detention center. And guys, what is a detention center? Detention center is a place where temporarily illegal foreigners are kept, and after that they are deported back, they are sent back to their country. So it was said that the place where these Rohingyas are living, that colony will be declared as a detention center, and then these people will be deported back to the Myanmar. Okay, this thing particular happened. Now guys, this particular entire issue has it is being shown here that it has become a kind of a political controversy. Okay, it has been said that because of the political parties' pressures and because of their certain fringe groups pressure, this particular issue has happened. Now guys, let's discuss what are the problems that are coming here. Now guys, when we talk about India has not been the signatory of the 1951 UN Convention on Refugees. Okay, so guys, when we talk about the refugees, what is the international framework? 1951 UN Refugee Convention. We have not signed this particular convention, nor we have signed the 1961 protocol to the United Nations Refugee Convention. We have not signed this particular thing. Thirdly, guys, we don't have even our asylum policy. What is the meaning of asylum policy? It means that if somebody is coming, let's say a foreigner wants to come in India and wants to seek a protection, we don't have any clear-cut policy that how they will be given the protection, how they will be accommodated. Will they be accommodated or will they not be accommodated? We don't have any such kind of an asylum policy. Now guys, because of this particular thing, many countries in the West, they have said that India's track record is, many of them, they have alleged that India is not very much serious on the refugee issues. It is not recognizing the rights of the refugee people. Many a time such kind of allegation has been made. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that when we talk about India has always preached the philosophy of the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means that the world is a global village. Fine, world is a global village, and the people, all the people, irrespective of their nationality, irrespective of their race, all of them are the brothers and sisters of us. Even the Rabindranath Tagore has given the theory of cosmopolitanism. Okay, he had believed actually in the philosophy of cosmopolitanism. In philosophy of cosmopolitanism, Rabindranath Tagore provided that there are actually the national boundaries that we have erected. These national boundaries are no real boundaries. At the end of the day, we all are the brothers and sisters, transcending all these national boundaries that we have made. So in the line of philosophy of cosmopolitanism of Rabindranath Tagore and the Vasudeva Kutumbakam, where that India has preached, what we have done actually, we have driven Rohingyas in the past out of their homes. Okay, so earlier they were living in Rajasthan, so they have been removed from Rajasthan, they have been removed from Haryana. Now guys, they are living in Delhi, but there they have been accused that they have been criminal, they have terrorist intent, such kind of things have happened. Now the issue comes that guys, India is a regional leader. India has been the land of Buddha. India has been the land of Buddha. We have been the land of Gandhiji. Okay, and in this particular capacity, we giving such kind of a treatment doesn't sounds very much good. Clear? Now guys, when we talk about the Rohingyas, okay, many of them had flewed to different countries. Okay, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, fine, Bangladesh, India, they are living in all these particular countries, but their conditions have not been good. Now guys, what India can do? India can play the role of a regional leader. India can play the role of a regional leader and can bring all the countries together, so that in humanitarian way we deal with this particular matter. And guys, this particular thing will actually enhance the India's soft power. This particular thing will enhance the India's soft power. This particular thing will prove India's credentials in the cultural diplomacy. It will prove the India's credentials in the cultural diplomacy. So such kind of thing rather should be done. Moreover guys, I have told you that actually what we are doing, we are saying that they will be deported back. But if they'll be deported back, you need to understand that it will lead to the violation of the principle of non-refoulement. Now what this principle of non-refoulement means, I'll just tell you. So basically guys, there is the principle of non-refoulement. According to that, if a particular person has escaped his home country because there was a fear that he might be persecuted because of his, let's say, race, because of his, let's say, religion. So a person has escaped from the home country and have come to some different country. Now he should not be sent back. He should not be sent back to the home country where there is a fear of persecution. That is the principle of non-refoulement. Now guys, the principle of non-refoulement has been considered as a part of a human right, and it has been provided that doesn't matter that whether you have signed the United Nations Refugee Convention of 1951 or not, doesn't matter, but this principle of non-refoulement needs to be practiced by the countries. Okay, even there is the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights 1948, which had signed by India. Now United Nations Declaration of Human Rights 1948 has been signed by India, and India recognizes the human rights. So as a part of a human right, even these people should not be sent back. Okay, non-refoulement's principle needs to be upheld. So this is all the issues that are coming. Fine. So guys, though this was just a kind of a political issue or such kind of thing that was provided, but it is actually attached with a very important thing. Okay, so that is all about this particular issue. Now guys, moving to the next one. Okay, and please keep all these particular dimensions in your mind when we are discussing it. Okay, now moving to the next topic. Bustards adapt to produce 2-egg clutch. Okay, now guys, understand, we'll see this particular article with respect to the environment, and this particular article will be particularly important for your prelims examination, because in the prelims examination, the species that have been in the news on that particular thing, the questions have been asked many times in the past. Okay, so guys, first of all, see the development that has happened, we'll see that particular thing briefly, but more important then is that species which have been mentioned in this particular news, because it is a very important species. Now guys, this particular article talks about the Great Indian Bustards. Okay, I'll tell you about the Great Indian Bustard in a minute. So guys, what has happened? It has been observed, the Great Indian Bustards, that now they are laying the 2 eggs at a time. In the past, always it was believed that the Great Indian Bustards, they lay 1 egg at a time. Though in some rare circumstances it was observed that they have laid 2 eggs, but now it has been observed that most of the Great Indian Bustards into the present times, they are laying the 2 eggs. Okay, so we'll understand that why this particular thing is happening in just a minute. But firstly, let's know about this Great Indian Bustard species. So guys, when we talk about the Great Indian Bustards, okay, they are the state birds of the Rajasthan, and they are actually one of the most endangered species of India. Okay, so guys, according to the IUCN Red List, fine, just a minute. according to the IUCN red list, they have been given the status of critically endangered. Now guys, according to the government data, there are less than 150 great Indian bustards that have been there in the open, that have been there in the wild, less than 150 members. So they are critically endangered. Now guys, at the same time, when we talk about the great Indian bustard, they are also called as the flagship grassland species. Now what is a flagship species or flagship grassland species? It means that they denote the health of the entire grassland ecosystem. If there are sufficient number of great Indian bustards into the grasslands area, it means that that particular ecosystem is healthy. So they are the flagship grassland eco species. Okay. Then moving on, the extent of these great Indian bustards, they are found in the states of Rajasthan and Gujarat in large numbers in India. At the same time, they are also found in few numbers in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. Along with the India, they are also found in the regions of Pakistan. Now guys, this particular bird, that is the great Indian bustard, have been repeatedly into the news because many birds, they have died because of the many problems. Fine. So there have been the constant collisions and electrocutions of these particular birds with the transmission lines. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that when we talk about the great Indian bustard, they have a poor frontal vision. Okay. Now in the Rajasthan is emerging as a kind of a as an epicenter of the solar electricity, wind electricity. Now guys, when the solar plants are there, when the wind power plants are there, okay, they are connected with the electrical grid through large number of transmission lines, and these great Indian bustard, they get struck into these power transmission lines because they are poor frontal vision. So therefore they are getting electrocuted, they are getting killed here in that particular thing. So guys, we understand this particular thing, that one environmentally sustainable solution is coming in conflict with the other environmental another environmental concern, that is the great Indian bustard species are getting impacted. Now guys, after that there has also been the habitat loss, okay, because of the development, because of the unplanned development, their habitats have got lost. Then there is the widespread agricultural expansion that has happened, and the grasslands have been destroyed. Is it clear? So this is all the problem, that the great Indian bustard is, their number have been reduced to less than 150. Now guys, for their recovery as well as for their upkeep, dedicated programs have also been announced. For example, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, they have started the species recovery program for the great Indian bustard under the integrated development of wildlife habitats. Okay, so integrated development of wildlife habitats, under that the species recovery program is focusing on the great Indian bustard. Moreover guys, the Rajasthan has also announced the project Great Indian Bustard, and under this project Great Indian Bustard, there are the breeding enclosures that have been created, and these breeding enclosures, the bustards, they are breeding. Okay, then there have been certain ex situ in situ programs also that are going on. Okay, moreover, basically human infrastructure should not create pressure on their habitats. Okay, and then the unplanned development, all these particular things are also being tamed by the Rajasthan. So all this is the detail about the great Indian bustard, and why, because they have come into the news many times because of their electrocution, because they are getting collided with the power transmission lines. Now guys, this particular phenomena that they had said that they are laying 2 eggs. Now this particular thing shows that the recovery of this particular bird can happen more fast if they'll lay more eggs. Okay, now guys, it has been provided that this particular year there have been good rains in the Rajasthan. So it has been provided that I'll just tell you that this particular year there have been the excessive rains, good rains into the Rajasthan, and because of that particular thing, what has happened, now these particular birds, they are able to get the protein rich diet, and because of this particular natural protein rich diet that they are getting, because of that, fine, they are giving the double eggs. Okay, the dual clutch eggs. So because of that particular thing, it has happened. So guys, it is another thing which might further help in their recovery. Okay, so this is the entire issue. But guys, this particular bird as what has been an important species. So for prelims examination specifically, this particular information is to be kept in mind. Now moving to the next article. should there be limit on the freebies? Okay, so guys, see this freebie issue, it's coming a lot in the news, and multiple articles have come on this particular freebie issue into the past few days, past few weeks in fact. So let's see this particular freebie, what this particular article is talking about here. Okay, this particular article, guys, will be important for our GS paper number 2. Now guys, one particular thing I want to share with you just in 5 seconds out of the scope of this particular thing. If you are following newspaper every day, guys, after few days you'll understand that newspaper is not a very difficult kind of a task. Now if you are following our analysis every day, you'll find that these freebie issue, fine, for example, it's coming from past few days. For example, that Rohingya issue, it has happened even yesterday also. After that, there is a sports issue, the sports governance also, it has been discussed also into the past. So guys, see, if you follow the newspaper for a particular period of time, then you will be able to learn how to draw the patterns, and that particular thing will make you even more efficient while dealing with the current affairs. Okay, so I say many number of times, guys, that if you are following the newspaper, please make it a habit that you do it every day. Doesn't matter if you want to see a video or you want to read it, but whatever you are doing, reading or watching video, do it every day, because only then you'll be able to develop a command. Okay, now guys, when we talk about the freebie, the first question comes that what is a freebie? What is a freebie? Okay, so guys, when we talk about freebie in very simple terms, freebie is an irrational entitlement that has been promised by a political party to the voters. For example, political party promising that if they'll come to the power, they'll give everybody an AC. Fine, they'll give everybody, let's say, a scooty. That is a freebie. Irrational entitlements that are being promised. Now guys, understand how you can explain freebie technically. Very good definition has been given. So it has been said that freebie is any public policy intervention that will have a long-term impact on the production as well as productivity. Very beautifully it has been explained. Okay, that will have long-term impact on the production as well as the productivity. It has been said that any public policy intervention that doesn't support medium-term to long-term production and productivity may be termed as a freebie. Now guys, understand this particular thing. On this particular basis, we'll analyze. Now, giving some person health, is it a freebie? No, it is not a freebie. Why? Because guys, if you give a person health, a person will be more fit and will be able to work in a better way. So what will happen at the end of the day? His productivity will be enhanced. Okay, so health be impacting productivity negatively? No, it is rather increasing your productivity. So is health a freebie? No, rather health, it is a good social justice program. Now let's say giving a person a TV. Now when you give a person a TV, will his productivity be enhanced? No impact, no positive impact will be there into the enhancement of the productivity. So yes, giving a TV might be a kind of a freebie. Okay, so on this particular basis, we can understand that what is a freebie, what is not a freebie. So again, very good definition has been given that freebie is a public policy which will have long-term impact on production as well as productivity. Any public policy intervention that doesn't support the productivity, that is a freebie. Now guys, in the past, there have been the concern that many political parties, they have given a lot of freebies, and recently even there have been the report that 15 lakh crore rupees debt is there on the state government, and much of the debt is because of the irrational freebies that have been announced into the past. Now guys, a petition was also it has went to the Supreme Court, where it was said that the Supreme Court should de-recognize the political parties that promise the irrational freebie. Let's say the ex-political party promising will give you iPad, okay, or let's say promising that will give you the mixer, juicer, grinder. Such political parties needs to be de-recognized. Even the question was raised that the Election Commission of India needs to make this particular thing, that political parties are being de-recognized. But guys, the Election Commission of India simply provided this particular thing that we don't have any such kind of a power. Actually, there is a Representation of People Act 1951 under which the political parties can be de-recognized. But such kind of a ground right now is not there under the Representation of People Act. Moreover, the Supreme Court also said that we cannot also de-recognize a political party, because let's say, suppose just a promise has been made, now that is not our ground for de-recognition. Let's say a freebie is being provided, now they are providing money through their budget, okay, and they have the power on their budget, they can use the budget as they want, okay, so they say that we cannot also do anything, so de-recognition is not possible. Moreover, the Supreme Court also said that a law on banning the freebie is neither possible nor advisable. Number one, according to Supreme Court, they said that we cannot come out with such kind of a law because our work is is to dispense the justice. Our work is adjudication of the cases. If we'll come out with the law, there will be the people, the UPSC aspirants, they will say that there is the judicial overreach. They'll say that there is the judicial overreach. They will call it as the judicial activism. So therefore, will not come out with the law. Secondly, they'll say that, and we don't even expect that the parliament will come out with a law. Why? Because every political party is offering a freebie. Nobody will come out with the law. Is it clear or not? So guys, in this particular background, what has happened? Supreme Court ordered that an expert committee needs to be constituted, and this particular expert committee will take the suggestions from many other bodies. For example, it will take suggestion from the Finance Commission, it will take suggestion from the Reserve Bank of India, it will take suggestion from the Niti Aayog, okay, from the political parties itself, and will come out with a layout that how this freebie problem is to be discussed. So this is something that is going on now, guys. But the question is there that what draws the line between the welfare and freebie? People sometimes, the political parties sometimes have justified social justice as freebie and freebie as social justice. So we don't know. Fine. Now guys, the question comes that, see, first of all, there is the directive principles of state policy. Okay, so in the constitutions, there are the DPSPs that have been provided. Now within the chapter of the DPSP, the people, their inequalities are to be minimized. Okay, they are to be provided the social justice program. So in that particular direction, the government is providing such kind of a support. Now, food is being given, let's say, education is being given, health is being given. All these particular things can be called as a freebie, but it's not a freebie. It is a fulfillment of the DPSP. Now the issue is there that there is a ripple effect. For example, a person who is privileged, he can say that when the free education is being given, it is a freebie. Why? Because that person can afford, so for them it is a freebie. But for a poor person, free education is not a freebie. For him, free education, it is the social justice program. Okay, because he cannot afford the freebie. So guys, there are the different perspectives that are there, that what exactly is a freebie and what is exactly not a freebie. Now what could be the parameters? Parameter is something that if a particular thing brings social justice, if a particular thing enhances the productivity, okay, and if it is directly fulfilling the principles of the DPSP, will call that it is not a freebie, it is a welfare mechanism. But if these three parameters are not being fulfilled, you can say that it is a freebie. This issue is coming. Now the question is there that, is India spending too much on the welfare or the freebies? Okay, are we spending too much? Is it really a fact? So guys, there has been the response, it has been said that no, we are not spending too much. Rather, India's expenditure has been very much less. It has been provided that comparison to other countries, we are spending very much less. For example, India's expenditure on public health and education is 4.7% of GDP. So around 4.7% of GDP we are spending on both health and education combined. Okay, but it is less than even the sub-Saharan African countries. They are spending 7%. So India's expenditure has not been very much low. Even guys, the Reserve Bank of India study on state finances, this report has come, and this report has provided that social sector expenditure at the state level has been declining, fine, after 2014. Now guys, after 2014, the states have been given more resources. What actually happened? Fine, I'll tell you here, just little bit beyond the scope of this particular article. See, 15th Finance Commission came, and the 14th Finance Commission came. Okay, 15th has come now. At that point, 14th Finance Commission came. So 14th Finance Commission increased the devolution of taxes that will go to the state. Earlier, 32% of the 32% amount of the taxes they were going to the state, it increased to 42%. So the devolution of state increased from 32% to 42%. So therefore, more money come to the state. But even their expenditure onto the social welfare programs have been very much less. Okay. Now guys, one more question comes that, okay, we spend less. Okay, fine. But the question is that why we are spending less? Okay, so answer comes that we are spending less because we are not raising, don't have enough of the revenues. So why we are not raising enough revenues in the first place? Why don't we have so much? Why don't we have money so that we can spend? So there is certain answers that have been given. So guys, here there have been certain answers that why we are not able to spend. Guys, India's income tax base has been very much low. Why income tax base has been very much low? See, understand this particular thing. There are many reasons. Reason number one, guys, technically, if you are earning 2.5 lakh rupees, So actually if you are earning 2.5 lakh rupees plus, okay, then only you'll be coming into the income tax bracket. By the way, I'll not go too much into the detail. There are two regimes. One is if you are earning 2.5 lakh plus, you'll come into the income tax, but then there are many of the exemptions that have been provided. There have been many of the exemptions that have been provided. For example, if you have earned more than 2.5 lakh rupees but you invest 1.5 lakh rupees into some of the ELSS type of mutual fund, okay, or on some another kind of a designated government fund, then you'll get the exemption. Then there are many other exemptions also which can be claimed, okay. Exemptions can be claimed on, let's say, house loan. Exemptions can be claimed on many number of kind of things. Now you don't need to go in detail because we are not reading here accounting. Question is that basically our income tax slab is very much high, and even then there are the exemptions that have been given. Now guys, what is the average per capita income in India? Average per capita income in India is anywhere around 1 to 1.25 lakh rupees. This 1 to 1.25 lakh rupees people are earning, but more than that, double is the income tax slab, okay. So a large number of people don't come within the income tax slab. Even if they are earning, there are large many exemptions that can be claimed by them, so they don't pay income tax. Secondly guys, there are the tax evasion also. Tax evasion means that the people don't report their income. So India's income tax base has been very much less. Is it clear or not? So this is very much less. Now guys, in the article, basically just this particular thing was explained in one line, but you need to understand all the reasons behind this particular thing. Moreover guys, that there are many other kind of a taxation avenues that have been not properly explored. For example, we don't have a fully developed wealth tax, okay, wealth tax, estate tax, inheritance tax, which are there in another country. Property tax, fine, it has not been properly explored in India. Fine, collection of property tax has been very much less, okay. This is the issue. So therefore guys, we are not having the revenue, we are not able to spend onto the social justice, and even if when it is being spent, many times it is going into the it is going in this particular thing, for example, the freebie issue. Moreover guys, there is one more issue that the government's expenditure, they are not properly placed. It has been said that many a times, fine, our revenue is going to help the privileged people, okay. For example, the big loan waivers have been given to industries. Many times to rich farmers also the loan waivers are given. Fine, tax breaks are given to the big corporates, okay, this is particular thing. There has been the reduction into the corporate taxes, okay. Now these basically, obviously, when you are giving a reduction into the corporate taxes, when you are waiving off the loan, okay, when you are writing off the loan, all these particular things, when it is happening, obviously it is benefiting the corporates, it is benefiting the rich people. Even the money that has been lost here, this money could have rather been used for the poor people. So this is also the fiscal mismanagement that India is doing, okay. So because of this fiscal mismanagement, all these issues are there. So guys, that is all about this particular thing. So therefore we need to balance this freebie and the social justice program properly. That is all about it. And now we'll move to the next article. Hard truths about India's labor reforms. So guys, basically this article is talking about that in India since long there have been one big concern. What's the concern? Concern is that in India poverty is a very big problem, unemployment is a very big problem. So guys, in India we have the problem of employment, okay. There we don't have better quality livelihoods, and all these particular issues are there. Now actually understand this particular thing guys, understand this particular thing, that when we talk about the India got independent in 1947, and at that point of a time we expected that every person, rich, poor, belonging to any caste, belonging to any religion, they will be living in dignity. But we have achieved 75 years since independence, but guys, we find that there are no political liberties. Many a times we have seen that people under the charge of UAPA, many a times people under the charge of sedition, they are being arrested. Political liberties got compromised, okay. Freedom of speech is being curbed. Social equality amongst the castes is not there. Still the caste discrimination is there. Indignity has increased. Lower caste poor women are living in abject poverty. Particular religions are there who are many a times they are not able to enjoy complete freedom of their faith. Such kind of issues are coming. Now guys, moving on, basically it has been provided that the biggest problem in India is poverty. When a person is poor, he is not able to exercise his civil rights. When a person is poor, he is subjugated. So biggest problem is poverty. And why poverty is a problem there? Because guys, there is a difficulty in earning livelihoods today. Today livelihood opportunities are not there, therefore the people are poor. And when we talk about the livelihood, the problem is not just of employment, rather the problem is of poor quality of employment even when it is existing. So number one, you don't have employment. If you have it, you have poor quality employment. Jobs are less paying, the jobs they don't provide social security, the jobs they don't provide the retirement benefit. So either unemployment or poor employment, both these things are there. Insufficient incomes are there, uncertain incomes are there, poor working conditions are there, all these things is there. Now guys, whenever the problem of unemployment comes, government has one particular theory in use, that is we should improve the ease of doing business. So government's logic is this, that unemployment is a problem, reduce the ease of improve the ease of doing business, more investment will come in India. Because of that particular investment, employment will be generated. So this is something that we have done. And guys, how to improve the ease of doing business? It is by bringing certain labor reforms. What is the labor reforms? Basically make it more conducive for the businesses to operate in India. And in that particular thing, what has happened, the labor laws have been diluted, they have been made flexible to attract the investment. And when these labor laws are being diluted, the workers protection, it is getting compromised. Laborers protection, it is getting compromised. Now guys, when we talk about the labor laws, okay, in India, the labor as a subject has been mentioned into the concurrent list of the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. It means that both the center as well as the union can make the law onto the labor. Now when we talk about the labor concerns the wages, the safety conditions, social security, the terms of employment, dispute if there is there between the employee and employer, all these particular thing is there. Now guys, I told you that labor is a concurrent subject, so therefore both the state as well as the center, they have power on that. Now guys, recently what has happened, the government of India, it has consolidated majority of the labor laws that existed in India into the 4 labor codes. So labor code on wages is there, labor code on social security is there, labor code on occupational safety and health is there. Okay, fine. So and then there is the labor code for the industrial dispute resolution and all that thing. So these are the 4 labor codes that are there. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that though 4 labor codes come, but multiple studies such as the studies which are tracking the impact of these labor reforms onto the employment, they have provided that they have little effect on increasing employment. It has been provided today into the name of ease of doing business. What has happened, we have liberalized we have actually made labor laws so flexible that there is no protection with the laborers. I'll give you certain examples. Now guys, for example, please focus here on this particular point. Now basically there earlier there was a limit that if a company is employing more than 100 people, then that particular company will be coming under many of the labor laws. Okay, they cannot fire the person on their wish, they have to provide them social security, they have to establish trade unions, and all those particular things were there. Now guys, basically this limit has been increased to 300. It has been provided that when a corporate or let's say when a factories or industries or a company will employ more than 300 people, then only it has to provide the social security benefits, retirement benefits, okay, all the benefits that are available to a formal employee, they are to be provided only when an industry will employ more than 300 people. Now guys, what is done, basically number one, this particular threshold has increased to 300 people. So it means that now the companies are simply not giving any social security. Moreover, there is one more phenomena that has emerged in India now, that is the contractualization of labor. Now what is the contractualization of labor? Today, rather than hiring the full-time laborers, what the corporates, what the industries are doing, they go to the labor contractors. These labor contractors will provide them the labor which is very much cheap, okay, and they will just be settled with the payment. Now guys, why the companies, they don't want to hire the full-time employees? Because guys, when you hire the full-time employee, you have to give him health insurance, you have to give him some you have to give him some support, some social security support, okay, some other benefits are to be given. So hiring a full-time permanent employee is very much difficult. Now guys, what government has done, government through the labor reforms has, number one, first of all, provided that by the time you reach 300 employees employees, you are not required to give social security benefit. So here their protection has been taken. And secondly, even after that, they are contractualizing the labor. All these particular issues have come. And at the end of the day, basically our industrialization, our growth has not been able to provide the good employment. Okay, even if employment is coming, it is not properly rewarding. Now understand this particular thing, that in the past we have seen that whenever GDP has grown, it has not created suitable employment in India. Now guys, understand, it has been said that India entered a period of jobless growth after 2000. What is this jobless growth? Now guys, understand, I would like to give you one data here. Few days back also we have taken this particular data. Between 1980 and 1990, if there was 1% growth in the GDP, it generated 2 lakh jobs. But now between 1990 and 2000, 1% growth in GDP generated only 1 lakh jobs. Okay, and now from 2000 to 2010, 1% growth in GDP is generating only 50,000 jobs. Okay, so what happens? As the GDP is increasing, number of jobs that will be generated, it has come less. In 1980 to 90, 1% GDP growth was leading to 2 lakh jobs, but today it has reduced to just 50,000. And between 2010 to 2020, we don't have data. It is said that it has even reduced. So the jobless growth is there. Fine. So industrialization, labor policies of the government has not worked very much effectively. So there are the fundamental reforms that are required. Okay, in the fundamental reforms, we need to make sure that how we can balance the employment and the labor policies at the same time. Employment should come, investment should come, but at the same time labor rights are also preserved. So these are all things that are to be balanced. So that is all guys about this particular article, and now we'll move to the next article. Okay, elevated inflation needs apt policy reply. So guys, basically the Reserve Bank of India, it has provided this particular thing in one of an article, that the increased inflation, elevated inflation that is there, it is needed to be tamed immediately. Now guys, understand this particular thing. Fine, the Urjit Patel committee. Now let's see the background first, and this particular thing we'll see with respect to GS paper number 3, Indian economy and issues. So guys, in the context of India, the Urjit Patel committee provided that India wants to go for the inflation targeting. Earlier guys, we did not had inflation targeting in India. Now according to Urjit Patel committee, we need to aim that inflation in India should stay at 4% plus minus 2%. What it means? It means that inflation in India needs to stay in a band of 2% to 6%. Okay, ideally 4% plus minus 2%. Matlab more than 2% more than 4%, it can go maximum to 6%, and less than 2% then less than 4%, it can go minimum to 2%. So inflation in India needs to be targeted between this range, that is 2% to 6%. Okay, so if you understand 4% plus minus 2%, is it fine? If you understand 2% to 6%, it is fine. As you are comfortable, you can see it. So this is the inflation targeting that has been suggested by the Urjit Patel committee. Now guys, we have been able to target this particular inflation, and there is a monetary policy committee, which has representatives from the Reserve Bank as well as the government. Okay, finance minister cannot be the chairman of the monetary policy committee. Keep it in your mind. Even this particular thing has been asked in the question. Find the monetary policy committee, its chairman is the RBI chief. So monetary policy committee keeps the inflation in control. But guys, in this particular year, we have seen that the inflation has stayed above this particular 6% range. Though it has now a little bit reduced, but still it is higher than this particular range. So therefore guys, it has been provided by the RBI that we need to come out with an apt policy. Okay, we have to come out with such kind of a policy by which we can tame the inflation. Now what's the issue that's coming in India? Guys, the issue is this. See, whenever there is economic crisis that come in an economy, fine, for example, because of the COVID pandemic, lockdown was announced, and because of the lockdown, economy got impacted. So guys, whenever the economy get impacted, we give the fiscal stimulus. In fiscal stimulus, we pump a lot of money in the economy. And you know this particular thing, the basic principle of economy: when the money supply will increase, obviously it will increase the inflation. When the money supply will increase, it will increase the inflation. And because of this thing, now in India and the entire world, the inflation has actually been increased. Now if you try to tackle the inflation, what will happen? The growth will be compromised. And if you will focus on growth, inflation will come. So it is a kind of a very complicated situation in which not only India is there, the entire world is there. They are increasing money supply, but it is leading to inflation. If they want to control inflation, they have to reduce money supply. But if they'll reduce the money supply, the economic growth will not come. India also the same situation is there. So therefore guys, this is the issue that is going on. So there is a kind of a very carefully designed policy that we need to come out with. So this is something which have been provided by the Reserve Bank of India officials. Okay, now guys, when we talk about in India now, where we are actually improving on economic scenario, for example, the supply conditions are improving. When the lockdown came, many of the industries were closed down, the supply chain broken down. Today the supply chain is improving. Even guys, in the automobile sector, there is a semiconductor chip shortage that was there, but now that is also improving. So supply chain is improving. We got a very good monsoon. Because of the monsoon, the agricultural harvest has increased. After that, it has been provided that now we got a strong momentum in manufacturing. Okay, so PMI is increasing, GST collections are increasing, manufacturing sector has gotten a good boost. Guys, even government has worked also. Just giving you additional point, for example, production linked incentive schemes, fine, under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, fiscal package was given for the manufacturing sector. Okay, then basically just we have seen that in earlier articles that credit guarantee is also being given. Okay, so manufacturing sector got improved. Service sector is also improving. Hospitality sector is improving. Yesterday guys, I was reading the Times of India newspaper and I saw there one article that the hotel prices in Rishikesh, they are at the highest level. Okay, why? Because tourism, now they are again going, they are exploring the revenge travel. What is revenge travel? You were stuck in your homes for 2 years, now you are traveling anywhere you want to go. So the service sector is rebounding. Then the festival season is now coming. Dashera, Diwali, all the festivals will come. So that will also boost the consumer demand. And at the end, economic revival is going good. But inflation is a concern that is to be tackled up. So this is all the issue that have been there in this particular article. I hope guys you understood it. And now we'll move to the next article. BRI projects are slow, but lending rises. Now guys, BRI stands for the Belt and Road Initiative. Okay, now in this particular article, you don't need to go too much into the detail because they are saying that, okay, how much loan was given by China in this year, in earlier year, how much percentage increase, which country has been given which particular loan. So all these particular data are neither needed nor you will be able to remember by the time your exam will come, and nor they are needed even. Now moving on guys in this particular thing. Now see, this particular issue, that basically when we talk about the Belt and Road Initiative, it has two components. It has the Maritime Silk Route. In the Maritime Silk Route, China is building the maritime infrastructure. Fine. Ports it is developing, sea lanes it's developing. So Maritime Silk Route is there, and then fine, there is Silk Road. Then there is Silk Road. Now guys, when we talk about the Belt and Road Initiative of China, China wants to connect the China with the Eurasia. It wants to connect the China with the Europe. So in the historical times, there was a Silk Road that connected the China with the Europe, Eurasia and the Central Asian countries. Okay, now the China wants to re-erect that particular ancient Silk Route. Okay, and in that capacity, Belt and Road Initiative has been started. So there is a maritime Silk Route, and then there is a Silk Road that will be developed. There will be one land-based component, and then there will be the sea-based component. But in this particular thing, China is trying to get connected with more than 125 countries. Okay, now guys, as a part of this Belt and Road Initiative, China has provided large infrastructure support. China has provided large number of money to the countries of Europe, to the countries of Asia, Asia to into the neighborhood, etc. Now guys, moving on in this particular direction, this article, what it is talking about, it is talking about that the China's investment into the infrastructure projects under its Belt and Road Initiative have declined in the past 1 year. Okay, so their investment in infrastructure has declined, but at the same time their short and medium term assistance to the partner countries, the loan that they are giving to the partner countries, it is increasing. And guys, even the China is giving the loan to the countries with the rising debt levels. Now understand, okay, so this particular article is talking that they are giving now more loan to the countries which are poor, which are developing, which already had too much of a debt. Why the China is doing this is something that we need to understand, and that is not provided in this article. Okay, now understand this particular thing. China has the debt trap diplomacy. Now what is this debt trap diplomacy? China gives a large number of money to the countries which already has a large number of debt, and by that particular thing China wants to make favorable relations with that particular country. Guys, let's take the example. For example, Sri Lanka was given a lot of loan for the development of the Hambantota port. Now Sri Lanka took the loan, but Sri Lanka was not able to pay back the China, okay, because obviously their economic condition was not good. Then what China did? China took this Hambantota port for the 99-year lease, and now the China might use this Hambantota port as a part of their string of pearls policy. Now guys, in the string of pearls policy, China want to encircle India. Okay, and it is trying to build the infrastructure around India. So this Hambantota port might be used as a component of a string of pearls. Now guys, China is aspiring to be a superpower nation. In that particular capacity, it wants the strategic assets, it wants the strategic control throughout the world. And in that capacity, China is now giving the loans to the countries which have already high debts. And over a period of time, China will try to take their strategic assets, will try to sign the favorable treaties with them. This is the long-term horizon in which the China is interested. So therefore guys, though China's investment in infrastructure has been reduced, but at the same time the lending that the China is going, it has been high. Okay, so this is something that has been provided. Okay, now guys, this particular article, it is talking about a report by the Green Finance and Development Center, GFDC. But these much details that, okay, how much $1 billion was given in 2020, how much $1 billion was given in 2021, how much percentage increase, that is not something that you need to remember. Fine. So this is actually the dimensions that we need to understand. Okay. Fine, so that is all guys about the articles today. Okay, and with this we come to an end to the today's newspaper analysis. Now guys, we'll meet tomorrow. Till then, please take care of yourselves, and guys, if you have liked the video, please do hit the like button, and please do subscribe to channel. Leave your comments, they are very important to us. Thank you so much.